It is now time for yet another pack. I'm really having a lot of fun just creating these character packs and mixing up the different shows that I wanted to include. And this one is a 6 character pack, a 6 pack for you guys today. And I wanted to make it similar to, a little bit bigger. And it made me think, I'll just be honest, it made me think of how the fighter pass was. And I was trying to see how big the fighter pass was for some of these characters, and maybe they can do something similar. These universe packs can probably contain 6 characters, a whopping 6 characters that can really entail the future for the game and what characters we can look forward to next. All different shows, and that's one thing I like about this series. And I'm gonna just explain this right now because someone had a question about the most recent universe pack. Oh, I thought it was real, and this is just a series that I came up with outside of the character requests that I take from you guys I let you guys pick the characters that y'all want to see in the game, and I make my own ideas for how I think that character can play in this game. But this particular series that I had to explain from a particular comment from the recent universe pack that I made a few days ago, this series is all the characters that I pick that I think will be different, and it's just a mystery and an element of surprise, so you never know who I'm going to pick next and which character I'm going to add next in these packs. So that's what makes this different from the character requests, and the moveset for the characters themselves is different because it's y'all requests and the characters that you guys want to see, whether or not I know the characters, and from the best of my ability I come up with my own ideas for how I think the characters can play, and doing research on the show and getting to know the character and digging up and sharing what I found out about those characters. So I just wanted to get that out there and explain what this series is about so it doesn't confuse anyone. It's not a pack that's coming out soon. These are just my own little character packs and characters that I want to see in the game that I think can fit into the game. And some of these characters that are in these packs could be realistic, whether it's a new sequel or maybe they'll get more characters in the near future to be added into this game along with many other updates. But now it's time to get into the characters, and as you guys can see from clicking on this video, you guys will be able to see the characters I'm going to be talking about, and that's going to be included in this pack. And you can also share some of the characters that you want to see make it into Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, or maybe in a future title, in the comments if you want to. So that's what the series is about. So now it's time for another universe pack, but I will be coming out with more characters. It's so many characters to put together from the request list that I have, so I'm going to bring those out too and bring out a new one at some point this week for you guys from the requests. But let's start with Dark Danny, and we're going to start talking about Danny Phantom. He's got to catch them all because he's Danny Fan. It's one of the best intros. So Danny Phantom is in his own, well, he is his own representation or own rep from his show, if that makes sense. Danny Phantom from Danny Phantom is in this game for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and he's the only rep from his show. So I wanted to bring a different version of him out for this pack for starters. And Danny Phantom has so many different characters that I always like to mention. Just for an example to start this off, Danny Phantom has so many villains that can stack this roster with their own unique powers. It's not just Vlad Plasmy, it's Freak Show, Ember, Skulker, who's in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3, you know what I mean, Tucker and Sam, and all the other characters that you could probably be able to get into this game that can really have unique movesets and different sort of abilities for their move pool. So Danny Phantom, I wanted to bring him out and bring the Dark Danny. Dark Danny has so many different abilities, and I think he can really be able to go head to head against the Danny Phantom himself in this game. And just to imagine his capability and how much power and just his potential to be in this game, they already got the rights to Danny Phantom. So what's stopping them from getting other characters and other villains that he ended up going against throughout the show and throughout the seasons for him to go after? There's always someone out there that's looking to cause trouble, and he's the one who's got to catch them all. So Dark Danny getting into this game, I think will be a huge deal A lot of people will probably pick him up. And then, just like I always usually say, just from Zim all the way down to Rocco, that's when you all have from Zim to Rocco Rama, it's only single reps from the show, because everything else behind or a little bit before the previous characters after Zim or before him, there's more than one rep. From the Louds, from the TMNT, from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, SpongeBob, Avatar. But she can count as Avatar because she's on her own show. I guess it can be discussed. Korra is from her own show, but she's still an Avatar, just like Aang. See what I'm saying? So they can start adding more reps from these shows that are single reps when you only have one character to be represented from that universe, from that NCU. So Dark Danny, I think he'll really be a good choice, and maybe in the future title we might end up seeing him. And if it's not Dark Danny, it'll probably be someone of the likes of Vlad Plasmius or Ember and Skulker, for example. Because that character Skulker's in a different game, and Kart Racers 3, he was in both the second and the third game for Kart Racers. So we'll see how this goes, and let me know what you guys think. I think Dark Danny would be a huge popular choice to go up against himself, you know, the protagonist and the antagonist. And then just with the roster lacking villains, I wanted to start with a villain on purpose for this discussion today. Now it's time for a new show that I would love to see so badly in these games, and I really think people forgot about this show, ChalkZone. And the All-Stars, it's called Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, but they have so many All-Stars that's missing. Like Snap, for example, who I'm about to get ready to talk about. Missing shows that can get added into these slots and to get to come up after Rocco. Maybe in the sequel, we'll see what happens. Maybe in a future update. But Snap has so much ability, and he's from the ChalkZone. And of course, Rudy could be able to get into the game. I would not put Snap and Rudy together as a duo. That's just my honest opinion, because they're two separate characters that can have their own abilities. And seeing how Snap has the ability to basically merge with different sort of surfaces to make himself temporarily invincible, where you can't hit him, Snap can really be really dangerous in this game for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Rudy is the chalk holder. He's the one who's got the chalk. It's like, say, who's got the chalk? Rudy is the chalk holder, so he'll be able to draw something and create all types of different things to really be able to assist him on the battlefield. He doesn't need to draw out Snap and have him as an assist character. I personally think Snap can be his own individual character and separate it from Rudy to Booty from the show. Rudy has his own skill, and he's the chalk holder, so he'll be able to already have his own move pool in comparison to Snap, who has his own individual ability. So I think Snap could be a really nice character. I don't see people talk about ChalkZone too much in comparison to the likes of the Loud House and SpongeBob. ChalkZone definitely deserves to be in this game or in some kind of future title, I believe. And I think he'll be one of my favorite characters. I love watching ChalkZone. It's one of the shows I love watching and growing up with the likes of Kablam and many other older shows that I've seen people really talk about, El Tigre and more, that we recently talked about last time. So that's Snap. I really think he can get in. And just another underrated show, Rocket Power doesn't get the attention that it deserves and the credit. Rocket Power was around before some of these shows existed. You know, some of the new modern shows that are on Nickelodeon now, that are airing on the channel, that air on the channel. And I selected Reggie Rocket. Of course, Auto Rocket can also get in, but I wanted to mix it up. Reggie Rocket was also seen in one of the previous games. Party Blast, it was Auto and Reggie Rocket. They were playable characters in a Nickelodeon game, but I don't remember any other games that Rocket Power actually had their own, got represented in a different Nickelodeon game. So maybe someone in the comments someone out there can probably clarify if there's been any other games that the Rocket Power characters have gotten into. Maybe it was the old Kart Racers from PS1. I'm not sure, because I haven't played it. But I did see Otto and Reggie getting where they were playable characters in Nickelodeon Party Blast. So I'm not sure if they had any other games that they had some kind of representation or represented in for character roster. But I just love Rocket Power. I love watching it, even on Paramount Plus. Just some of the old shows, and just like I said with Danny Phantom, it's another one of my favorite intros that I love listening to. Every time you watch an episode, you just never get tired of watching it. You don't even want to skip the intro because it's just that good. The Rocket Power game with Otto, Reggie, Twister, and Sam, aka Squid, they can get into the game too. And already in the past, I've talked about Tito and made a moveset how he can play. So I think he can be a really good character too for this game. But Rocket Power definitely needs to get more representation, and I think they deserve and belong in this game. And they're still part of Nickelodeon. Why can't we get a Rocket Power rep like Reggie Rocket to be able to get in to represent the show? Otto and Reggie can get in. Of course, separate characters. Reggie Rocket was my next selectable character for this third character from the 6-pack. And adding more to new shows that they can add. I've seen several people talk about Tak and the Power of Juju. I haven't played the games, but I remember seeing the show. And just with Tak in general, I talked about him too a while back, of what I think he can do. He has so much magic with shaman magic. I think he can definitely be able to tap in to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl for this roster, and a lot of people will probably end up picking him up just with all his ability and all the different magic and spells that he has. His arsenal of spells is just so crazy. Tak will easily be one of the greatest characters for them to pick up and get access to. I'm not sure what's going on with the show. I'm not sure how long it's been going on as far as the seasons, but based on what I found out, and when I found out more about his ability, it's just, again, I haven't played the games before. I heard how great they were. But Tak getting into Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, I think will also be another great choice, and yet another new show that they can add on to this roster itself to beef it up. But now we're going to start talking about SpongeBob. We're going to go back into the world of SpongeBob, and I'm going to just keep it on him, because this next character in particular, I think can also be in Kart Racers 3. It'll be awesome, but I think he'll have a better role and a better fit to be in All-Star Brawl. I selected Flats. Anybody remember this episode? Flats was a bully in SpongeBob's boating school. And he was threatening SpongeBob he was going to kick his butt. And I'm going to kick your butt. And then, when you watch the episode, it's one of my favorites too. He said, nah, he's going to kick my butt. He was getting so scared. I forgot which character said that. But I never get tired of watching that episode. It's one of my favorites. I definitely think Flats has so much just offensive potential to be in this game. With how strong he is and being a fighter, Flats can definitely show down, get the real showdown that he wanted with SpongeBob when he was just punching him. He just kept punching him, and everywhere he went, he wouldn't stop punching him. And his punches would just be absorbed by SpongeBob. So I'm absorbing his blows like it's nothing. I forgot exactly what he said in the voice line in the episode, but it never gets old. So I just think that he can be another additional SpongeBob role that's more fitting. They got other characters like Man Ray and other characters that I believe, like Bubble Buddy, that I also mentioned before, that I think could be a unique choice too. Doodle Bob and more. But Flats, this is his game. This is a game for Flats, for a character like him from the SpongeBob universe. So just additional characters that belong, like Squidward and Mr. Krabs as well. But Flats, this is a game for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, is a game for Flats with his ability, his physical ability, and just the things that he can do. I think he can really be a powerhouse, and he can just be able to hit as hard as Potter Toastman and Reptar does in this game. Because I think PTM and Reptar, they do the most damage. So you definitely don't want them to you don't want them to hit you to get a successful hit. And I think Flats can do just as much damage as Reptar and PTM in this game. I would definitely love to see him in this game for sure, to be on a match. and it'd be easy for them to get access. It's SpongeBob. It's SpongeBob's world, so he gets a lot of reps. But you only have 3 with SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. You can definitely do more. I think they can. And now, last but not least, I wanted to talk about Kreskin. I think he would be the perfect live action character, and I mentioned this before to you guys, and you guys got to know what he was about from watching the moveset that I created for him. So this time, I wanted to stack up this 6-pack with the first ever live action character that I believe can be fitting. I'm gonna say this again, I didn't know he was part of Nickelodeon and he was canon to the Nickelodeon universe, because he was part of Nickelodeon and was from a long time ago in the 90s. So I found that out a while back, and I never knew who he was. But I got to know him and just be able to do some research, and I even made some moves. He's a psychic magician. And when you think about a sidekick and a magician, he's going to be just as dangerous, if not more dangerous than Tak, because Tak has some magic, but you have a sidekick magician. Who on earth knows what he'll be capable of? I think he'll have one of the most unique movesets in the game. Hypnosis, being able to hypnotize the opponent, and all the different tricks that all those tricks he'll have up his sleeve, he'll definitely be able to go wild on the roster. So I wanted to change this pack for today by adding a live action character that would make sense for this roster, that could be able to shine, that I think they can really get their hands on. He wants to be in the game, so that already opens the doors. I think he can shine, and just like I mentioned before, I made ideas for this character, for Kreskin, how he can be able to be played, and being just, again, a psychic magician. That's endless amounts of potential for a character to be able to get into this brawl to join the roster. All those tricks, all that magic and hypnosis and different things that he'll be able to do, he'll probably be able to stun the opponent from a distance. And then with hypnosis, he'll just be able to have his way, have you stunned and under his control. That can definitely be really unique for the devs to really make him, to be able to have that kind of ability. There's not a character in this game right now that has magic, that has some kind of psychic ability. Yeah, they have powers of the elementals, from elements of earth, wind, fire, and water. But that's completely different from magic itself, and just psychic abilities, kinesis. You see what I'm saying? So he can definitely be able to get in and have one of the best moves and unique from all the other characters that have weapons, like Michelangelo, Leonardo. They got swords and nunchucks, but those are just weapons that you're going to be swinging around trying to tag up the opponent and hit them as many times as you can to get them out. But messing around with a psychic and messing around with magic, you cannot compare. These weapons won't stand a chance against that kind of magic and those kind of abilities. But with this 6-pack with Dark Danny, Snap, Reggie Rocket, Tak from Tak and the Power of Juju, Flash from SpongeBob, and then an Amazing Kreskin, I think this is definitely going to be easily one of the best packs, because it's stacked up with all these different characters that deserve to be in this game, and you have new shows that deserve to also get represented in this show, in this sort of kind of game for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. And just like I said with Flash, this is a game for him. That's why I ended up picking him. And he can be that sort of kind of brawler that you'll pick, because this is something that can fit in a character from SpongeBob's world and from his universe to be able to shine. Let me know what you guys think of this pack. I just wanted to make it a little bit bigger with a 6-pack of 6 amazing characters that I can think that are well deserving to be in this game, and they have the moves, they have the potential, just all the different abilities, and just the creativity behind these characters alone. These devs can definitely bring more to this game, and maybe in a future title.